Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Reed here. Welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. And today we have yet another Lego review. And to no one's surprise, it's yet another car. Oh, and what a good one we got this week. Or, well, at least at the time of recording, this is this week. Today we are taking a look at the Lego Technic Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut, and wow, is this car awesome! So this is not my first Koenigsegg I've gotten in my collection. Matter of fact, I actually have the original Jesko from the Speed Champions line, but this is the Technic equivalent, and how does it show? So taking a look at the box here, which is quite sizable here. We get the Lego Technic logo right up there. Of course, we get the name right there, Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. Very lovely. Set number 42184 has 801 pieces, so light work for me. Then on the side here, of course, we got the officially licensed Koenigsegg. Very nice to see. And we get a very nice visual of the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut just in a parking lot. Okay. On the side of the box, we get another Lego Technic logo and a side profile of the car. As we flip around to the back here, we get the back of the car with, of course, showing off the opening doors and the working steering, which is basically comes standard with these scale models here. Of course, we get some little tech specs of the car itself. And we get a really nice render of the real-life vehicle, which looks really cool. And then the back, and then over here we get a nice look at the engine, because yes, it does have a working engine. Thank God for that. And then on the other side here we get some more tech specs, and we get a side view look at the car from the front as well. And then as we go to the top here, we get yet another Lego Technic logo. We get another side profile, and we actually get a 1-to-1 scale look at the actual wheel of the car, because, yeah, we need that there too. And then I think the bottom should just be legal jargon. Yep. Okay. Moving the box out of the way, and quickly getting the setup adjusted accordingly. Let's now take a proper look at the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. And wow, is this thing nice. So, first impressions, I mean, the white on this thing looks amazing. Now, similarly to other cars that are just a standard, just color, doesn't matter if it's the last review, which was the Lamborghini Huracan Technica, the orange one, where it had some slight discolorations. This one kind of has that too. A lot of these cars seem to have a little bit of discoloration, but the overall design philosophy here, I think, is absolutely stellar. So, just very traditional for Koenigsegg, in my humble opinion. So, taking a look at the front here. Scooch. Thank you. You can see the very nice hood here with this very aggressive sort of angled front bit here, which I think is actually a little bit off. There we go. We have that there. Of course, we have this very nice sort of front splitter with a little green line there. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a little axe in there actually that functions as like the center strut. That supports this whole splitter assembly, which on the previous Jesko that they did for Speed Champions, they did that too, which is really nice, except it was a green one, and this one's just a nice jet black color. Taking a look at the top here as well, if we zoom in, you can see, zoom way in there, you got that teeny tiny Koenigsegg badge, which is nice to see as well. Zoom back out. And we do get this nice green sort of light strip going right through that logo. And then on the sides here, we get some nice sticker details showing off the ventilation systems and the front headlights, which is always nice to see. Taking a look at the side now, we can see the Jesko text right there, which again is kind of hard to see, but it does say Jesko on there. And then we have over here the little detail for the rear wheel, which is also a sticker. Very nice to see. And then to actually open the door, this is actually kind of cool. You literally pull up and it slowly shifts out, just like the real car. Really nice detail and very clever assembly of how that works. And that works on both sides. But we'll see on the other side here in a second. So getting a look inside, and gotta get my flashlight. Hold on. There we go. You guys can see the inside of the car. See if I can get my light in there. There we go. So you guys can see you have the detailed seating. Of course, you have the little steering wheel with a little speedometer and you know your other information on your little heads-up display. Of course, you have the Koenigsegg logo on the steering wheel. Sadly, the steering, once again, is not connected to the steering wheel, but essentially you just turn this gear up here, and the wheels will turn. Albeit at maybe a bit shallow of an angle, especially when you're turning left, but it's okay. I think it's good enough for what it is, in my opinion, of course. Also in there, you can see the teeny tiny little seat, which is fully detailed, both the headrest and the back, as well as where your butt, of course, sits. But from this angle, it's kind of hard to see, so I'll have to... Oh, and another thing is there's another Jesko logo right down there. So that's also nice to see. And then if we turn to the front a bit here, I think we might get a better look at that seating arrangement. Actually, I might have to move this out of the way. Excuse me. Thank you. There we go. Wait, let me get the zoom all fixed here. Oh, gosh. Focus. 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 Thank you. Okay, you can see you have the Koenigsegg logo on the headrest, and now you can see the actual seat detailing. Very nice to see. All right, let's move on to the back now, where you can see more of this sort of square shape back here. Now, there are rear splitters down here, or diffusers. You have a couple rear diffusers back here. Of course, we get the exhaust pipe right up there, which actually is just a standard Lego engine piece. Nice little detail. Of course, we get the rear taillights, and we get more of that green sort of energy light effect with, oddly, is a little ghost up here, which I find interesting because, like, this isn't supposed to be a spooky set. Why is there a ghost back there? And then you have, of course, more of the back of the car and the front, or the rear sort of fins that come out the back to help, you know, disperse air across the vehicle, which is very nice to see as well. Now, on to probably one of the coolest features of this car, because believe it or not, the back section does open up, and it opens up quite cleverly as well, where there's clever hinges, as you can see back there, that just about slide the back out. They don't hold it up real well, so you have to hold it up manually, but check out that engine block. I mean, you get a very nice V8 engine back there. Sadly, no sticker, but very nice V8 engine. And of course, when you roll the car back and forth, the engine will move. So that is very nice. And you also get a rear differential back here as well. So, nice touch, since I haven't done that in a while. I think the last car they did that with was with the, what was it, the NASCAR Camaro they did. So, nice to see differentials coming back into the fore right here. And of course, to close it, you just gently close it down. Very simple. And of course, on this side, just like with the other side, you have the door that comes up, which on this side is a little bit finagly, but it does open. And again, you get some more detailing inside. Just like the other side, you get the little Jesko logo. You do get more of the seating arrangement detail. And that's about it, really. Not really much detailing in there. Just kind of the same as the other side, or the driver's side, but just, yeah, not as much. And with that kind of wraps up the just overview of the set. I mean, it's not much, but I mean, it's a nice car, in my humble opinion. So, and yeah, another fantastic addition to the collection, especially because it's a Koenigsegg. Which they haven't done many of those, so it's nice to see another one. The only real problems I have with this set in particular, as you can see right there, is the little windshield. But I'll talk more about my little grievances with this set after we get on to, of course, my favorite segment, being, where I talk about the lore of these cars and just more information about the Koenigsegg Jesko itself. So let me just quickly get it on my turntable here. Get this thing turned on. There we go. And of course, let's now talk about the lore and story of the Koenigsegg Jesko. So, let's go. The Koenigsegg Jesko is a limited production mid-engine sports car produced by the Swedish automobile manufacturer Koenigsegg. The car was introduced at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show and was completely sold out before the show ended. Succeeding the Agera, the Jesko is named as a tribute to the company's founder's father, Jesko von Koenigsegg. There are two variations of the car, the Absolut and the Attack. Of course, this is the Absolut model. But, just to give some more information here, the Koenigsegg Jesko, of course, was made by Koenigsegg Automotive AB. Was produced from 2021 to present day. The designer was Christian von Koenigsegg and Joachim Nordwall. The body and chassis this is a S-Class sports car with a two-door target top, with a rear mid-engine and rear-wheel drive with dihedral synchro helix doors. Well, that beats butterfly doors, doesn't it? The powertrain on this sucker is a twin turbocharged V8 engine, with a power output of 1,280 horsepower and a 9-speed Koenigsegg LST multi-clutch transmission. That's a mouthful. Now, in terms of the dimensions of this car, the wheelbase is 106.3 inches. I believe that's tall. Okay. The length is 181.5 inches by 75.9 inches in width, and then 47.6 inches in height. The curb weight of the Absolut is 1,390 kilos, or 3,064 pounds. So yeah, not a light car whatsoever. But what car is light? Maybe a race car or something, but yeah. And this is, of course, preceded by the Koenigsegg Agera, which I'd love to see LEGO do at some point, hopefully. Now let's talk more about this engine, shall we? The engine is a development of the 5.1-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine used in the Agera. It has 4 valves per cylinder, each with a bore and stroke of 92 millimeters by 95.25 millimeters, or 3.62 by 3.75 inches, and a compression ratio of 8.6 to 1. The engine has a power output of 1,280 horsepower. What is that? At 7,800 RPM and 1,000 Nm, or 738 pounds per foot of torque at 2,700 to 6,170 RPM on normal petrol, and has a power output of 1,600 horsepower and 1,500 Nm, or 1,106 pounds per foot of torque at 5,100 RPM on E85 biofuel. Okay. Changes from the Agera's engine include the use of a new 180-degree flat plane crankshaft that saves 5 kilos, or 11 pounds, and increases the red line from 8,250 RPM to 8,500 RPM. The Jesko also utilizes active rubber mounts, from the Agera that reduces engine vibrations in the cabin. The 2 large turbochargers are equipped with a 20-liter air tank made from carbon fiber, coupled with an electric compressor which feeds pressurized air to the turbochargers at a pressure of 20 bar, 290 psi, in order to reduce turbo lag. The engine has pressure sensors for each cylinder in order to achieve real-time cylinder monitoring for the multi-point fuel injection system. So yeah, pretty advanced engine, all things considered. And let me zoom this out again just a little bit. There we go. All right, let's continue. All right, let's talk more about the transmission of the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. The engine is mated to an in-house developed 9-speed multi-clutch transmission called the Light Speed Transmission, or LST. The new transmission has a weight of 90 kilos, or 198 pounds, and is at least 50% shorter in length than the previous 7-speed dual-clutch unit. It has 9 forward gear combinations using a layout with an input shaft with 3 fixed gears, which is mated to a secondary shaft with 3 gears fixed to the output shaft and 3 clutch gears mated to the input shaft, and an output shaft with 4 clutch gears. One side is used for reverse, which mates directly with to the input shaft, allowing the transmission to change gears without an interruption in power delivery due to the speedy nature of clutch actuation and overlap between the clutches opening and closing. Holy crap. The engine's crankshaft is mated directly to the LST and uses the rotating mass of the transmission components in place of a traditional flywheel. The transmission has a shift time ranging from 20 to 30 milliseconds. That's quick. It has an overdrive mode called Ultimate Power on Demand that is designed to skip directly to the optimal gear depending on user input, rather than down or up shifting sequentially to that gear. Well, that's definitely innovative. Never heard of a car doing that before. At least in my history. The transmission is controlled by an onboard computer which uses engine and road speed data to engage a gear. Gears are selected by the driver either using the shift paddles mounted on the steering column or the gear selector. And of course they give us some ratios here, at least in my notes off screen here. So in first gear it's 4.7200 to 1. And in second gear it's 3.6441 to 1. In third gear, it's 2.8744 to 1. And then in fourth gear, it's 2.2500 to 1. And then with the fifth gear, it's 1.7371 to 1. Sixth gear, 1,372 to 1. Seventh gear, 1,000... I keep doing that. 1.0783 to 1. Because I keep misreading it. Dang it. Excuse me. 8th gear, 0.8325 to 1. And then 9th gear, 0.6566 to 1. So, they have that. Alright, let's talk about the chassis and suspension. Unlike its predecessors, the high downforce attack variant of the Jesko has Koenigsegg's triplex dampeners at the front and rear combined with traditional Öhlins dampeners. A horizontal, I can't read today, rear damper prevents the rear from pressing on the ground during hard acceleration. Well, yeah, because it's low to the ground, of course. The front dampers stabilize the car at high speeds, while active rear wheel steering ensures further stability at all performance levels. The carbon body tub used in the Jesko is 40 millimeters, 2 inches longer, and 22 millimeters, 1 inch wider from that of its predecessor in order for more passenger room. The tub has been redesigned and incorporates an aluminum monocoque structure for increased rigidity. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Alright, now let's talk about the wheels, brakes, and tire system. The car comes standard with forged aluminum center lock wheels with diameters of 20 inches at the front and 21 inches at the rear. Lighter carbon fiber wheels are available as an option, weighing 5.9 kilos or 13 pounds at the front and 7.7 kilos, 7 pounds at the rear. The tires are Michelin Pilot Sport Cups 2s with codes of 265 by 3520 for the front and 345 by 3021 for the rear. Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires dedicated for track driving are also available as an option. The braking system uses ventilated carbon ceramic discs. So this is a race car as well. Well, I guess makes sense. Since, historically, at least from my understanding, Koenigsegg's always done like a hybrid of both street legal cars and race cars. So, makes sense. A lot of luxury car brands do that, actually. If you couldn't tell. Now, as for the interior, the use of a redesigned monocoque improves leg and headroom in the interior of the Jesko when compared to previous Koenigsegg models. Though weight saving is a priority for interior features, the car is still equipped with amenities such as a climate control system, an infotainment system with a 9.0-inch screen, Apple CarPlay, and USB phone charging. That should come standard, shouldn't it? The car has unique screens mounted in the steering wheel spokes and a 5.0-inch screen mounted behind the steering wheel displaying vital information to the driver. The seats can be made from hollow carbon fiber, but will also be electrically adjustable. Okay, well, that's good. Now for the exterior. The Jesko shares Koenigsegg's auto-skiing capabilities from the Regera, allowing for remote operation of the doors and hood. It is also possible to hydraulically lift the front and rear axles of the car to give additional ground clearance. The doors have been redesigned so that they open further outward and have more ground clearance while open. The roof has screws in order to ensure it remains in place during high-speed driving. Well, yeah, because the last thing you want is for the roof to fly off while you're moving at, like, stupid speeds. So, yeah. Alright, so now a little more on the Absolut model here. So this was unveiled alongside the Gemera on the 3rd of March of 2020. The Jesko Absolut is a high-speed version of the Jesko, if the design language wasn't clear enough. The rear wing on the Jesko Attack is replaced with 2 rear fins, right there, which enable a reduction in downforce from 1,500 kilos, or 1,400 kilos, 3,086 pounds, to 150 kilos, 331 pounds. Wow, that's a massive difference. Holy. And a drag coefficient of CD equals 0.278. That doesn't sound too bad either. I mean, hey, weight reduction is important, especially for a race car. The front splitter and side winglets are removed, and the front luves are smoother, with the rear wheels featuring removable covers for high-speed stability. The vehicle is also slightly elongated, featuring a rear extension which adds 85 millimeters, 3 inches of additional length. The engine and transmission remain the same as the Jesko Attack. 3,000 hours were spent on the aerodynamic analysis, while an additional 5,000 hours were spent designing and engineering the Absolut. Wow, that's a long time for something that's just another version of a pre-existing car. Huh. The Absolut was priced higher than the Jesko due to development work taken to, lower and drag coefficient, and a drag coefficient of, okay, hold on, wait, hold on. Due to lower the drag, hold on, where was I? That's what we priced higher than the Jesko due to the development work taken to lower the drag coefficient, The Jesko Absolut is estimated by the manufacturer to have a top speed around 500 to 560 kilometers per hour, 310 to 350 miles per hour. And yeah, that's basically it for this car. Pretty snazzy vehicle, if I do say so myself. Maybe not the fastest car out there, but dang it, is it one of the faster ones out there. And one of the better looking cars, too. So, let's go ahead and do some quick comparisons, shall we? Alright, so first up for our comparisons, let's bring in my last review, the Lamborghini Huracan Technica in orange. And yeah, you can see relatively how small the Jesko really is compared to the Lamborghini here. Not by much, but it definitely has some size differences going for the two of them. So, there you have that. For our next comparison, let's bring in the Bugatti Bolide in Agile Blue. Looking very, very pretty indeed. Even though it is, oh boy, quite a bit bigger than the Koenigsegg. So, you got that going for it. And for our last comparison, just for fun, let me bring in the Speed Champions Koenigsegg Jesko. In this case, now I know, just from my notes and from my research, this is in fact the Attack version, and this is the Absolut version. So, really cool that they actually did both versions, but it would be nice if they were to do a Technic version of this guy. But, we'll see. But But with that, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this review on the LEGO Technic Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. Pretty awesome car outside from a few small problems. First and foremost, I really don't like how they did this windscreen design. I get why they did it to make it look aerodynamic and make it look all fancy, but it ends up in just these pieces that just kind of sit loose in the air. They don't really click in anywhere, they just kind of rest there. Kind of lame. That and the side headlights are kind of annoying too, because just like these parts here, they don't really sit flush. Like, they don't really click in firmly. You kind of have to, like, pull them out a bit to actually get them to sit where you want them to sit, which is kind of annoying, but, like, I can forgive it, right? That, and sometimes getting these doors closed can be a bit finagly, and as you can see, they're a little floppy, which I think for a car like this shouldn't be happening. But I can kind of forgive it because, you know, you're not really going to mess with these doors too much. But it would have been nice if they were a bit more secure than they are. But given how the door assembly works, you know, there's only so much they could do. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this review. Later, Squad, and have a good one.